here we are with Gillian Murphy, jury member of Prix de Lausanne 2019. She is a principal dancer with American Ballet Theatre and also prize winner of Prix de Lausanne in 1995. So is this the first time you've been back at Prix de Lausanne since you were a prize winner?
I came back once, many years ago, to dance in the gala. I danced Tarantella with my husband Ethan Stiefel, and I was just trying to keep up with him the whole time because he was on fire. But it was wonderful to be back then, and this is my first time as a jury member.
Do you have any kind of fond memories of your experience with Prix de Lausanne?
I had an amazing week at the Prix de Lausanne, and in 1995 the semifinals and the finals were held in Moscow. So we traveled there and got to perform on the Bolshoi stage, which was also, just very memorable and inspiring. The entire week was awesome. It was really awesome, really eye-opening, and I learned so much about how great the dancers are in the world, and that perhaps I had something to offer because there was a good response with what I was doing so far. So it was very encouraging and inspiring.
Okay. And did you notice any changes from 2019 to back in 1995?
There are some changes. Now they have the contemporary variations are chosen from repertoire instead of just bringing whatever you want. And there's also the extra coaching that they have for the contemporary variation, also for the classical variation. Mm-hmm. I think those are really positive changes on a number of levels. Mm-hmm. I think also we did not do any improv in 1995, which was lucky for me, because as a 15-year-old, I'm sure that's really daunting, but it's impressive to see how they rise to that challenge, and it's also something that's more and more necessary in today's repertoire for these young dancers to be ready to move into the kind of choreography that's happening nowadays.
Yeah. Well, speaking of repertoire, we have footage of you from 1995, so would you be willing to see these videos?
If you insist. I probably would have done a better bun if I knew a little more about hair. Seem a little late. There we are. Now I'm back on the music. This is hilarious. I'm just loving it. I love being on that huge stage. I mean, look at it, the Bolshoi.
So how does it feel to see yourself, little Gillian in 1985?
Usually it's really slightly traumatizing to watch videos, but this is so far away, and it actually just brings back great memories of working with Melissa Hayden and getting the opportunity to go to Lausanne, and then getting the opportunity to dance on the Bolshoi stage that year. When I first started, I was dancing at the Florence Little Theater in South Carolina, so it was just like a corner of this stage, and clearly I just loved it, being there and being here and seeing all the amazing dancers that are part of this competition. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I've improved, but it's kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Should we see the contemporary variation?
All right.
Nous allons retrouver chacun des 15
So
concurrents
it
dans
was
les
definitely more of a
variations
free-for-all
libres.
in terms of
Avec tout d'abord Gillian
type of
Murphy.
contemporary.
Bonsoir Gillian, concurrente
So
numéro
it was-
1, une américaine qui vient donc de Caroline du Nord.
Actually, right
Qui,
before
en
this,
première partie, vous avez proposé une variation
I thought there was an
de
intermission
Tchaïkovski, pas de
because
deux
there
de
had been an
Balanchine.
intermission the night
Maintenant,
before,
c'est une chorégraphie de
and
Vicente
I
Brada
assumed,
sur une pièce
as a
de
15-year-old,
Jean-Sébastien Bach.
I guess I wasn't as on top of it as I thought I was. And then the camera was just
Et la
following
voilà.
me, which is why I was just going in circles just then, trying to kind of like have a moment. I just happened to be on stage ready to dance. That was stressful. The other interesting thing about this solo is there's a lot of bending and swiveling and on a rake. I remember it being a real challenge because I would have done a little more physicality. It's also really fast. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've seen this in 24 years. I think at this point I'm starting to enjoy it. I've gotten over the trauma of not knowing that I was about to perform. Whoa. Pretty sure those were supposed to be turned in, so that's good.
Les scènes ténébrataques que l'on a connues comme chorégraphe
whirlwind.
Ness a réglé là une agréable variation où Gillian Murphy, concurrente numéro 1, met en valeur l'harmonie du haut du corps avec ses mouvements de main.
So you say you've never seen this video?
No, I've never seen that. That was very bizarre seeing that solo. That I remembered there were swivels and bends, but that it was sort of fast. I didn't realize quite how fast. And interesting.
And the classical variation you've seen before, or this was the first time as well?
I might have seen it. I feel like I might have seen a little snippet of it when I danced here in the gala. But that was more than 10 years ago, I think. So, but yeah, this is the first time seeing both. Definitely the contemporary Vincenti Vibrata solo I haven't seen since I was 15. So that was wild.
Yes, sure. If you could go back in time, what advice would you give to yourself during this experience?
I think I really embraced the experience at the time, and I think that's what it's about, is meeting your fellow competitors if you get a chance to, and supporting each other, and staying focused on just doing the best that you can do, being, the best dancer that you can be, and not getting caught up in, well, so-and-so has a better line, or this person can, turn or jump, or what, there's always going to be people with gifts beyond oneself, but it's not about that. It's really about just expressing yourself, enjoying the experience, and making the most of it.
And you mentioned that you admired the candidates this year, how they were at ease with improvisation.
Yes.
So were you more of a classical or a contemporary dancer at that time? What were you more comfortable with?
At the time, as a 15-year-old, I was definitely more adept at classical dance, and I was lucky that I was doing great contemporary classes at my high school in North Carolina, but we didn't do so much improv at that time. So if I had to do improv now, I would feel quite comfortable, other than the fact that I'm pregnant, so it might be a little bizarre for people to watch. But at the time, definitely I was more comfortable with choreography rather than just being completely free and just do whatever, which is what they have to do for a few minutes at least in the contemporary class. There was some improv, so yeah, they're doing really well, and it's inspiring to see this generation.
One last question. Do you have any tips for the candidates of 2019?
Tips, breathe, enjoy. As I said, get to know each other if you have time, but of course you have to stay focused. I actually met my best friend when we competed here against each other in 1995, Stella Brera, and we went on to do the final rounds together. And so you never know. I've also kept up with other friends that I made during the competition, and the dance world is very small, so in some respects. So it's that's one thing I would say, just to be nice to each other and enjoy getting to meet incredible dancers from around the world, but also to continue to learn and grow. And it's all process oriented. You know, the jury's looking mainly at potential, so don't get too caught up in, you know, did I nail this or did I mess that up? Or it's really not about that. It's about the complete dancer in a classical and a contemporary sense, and as a young artist who might you know, shape the art in the future.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much, Gillian, for your time.
You're welcome.